Dr. Amy Sapola, Director of Pharmacy with an F at the Chef's Garden. Today I am making a radicchio, apple, and buckwheat salad, and I'm so excited. We're also going to use some 898 squash on there. So first, I'm going to prep my sauce. So I'm just going to warm up and toast some pecans in a little bit of olive oil. While that's beginning to warm, I'm going to chop up my radicchio. The radicchio actually comes in different sizes. So these are two different varieties, but one of the things I love so much about radicchio is this beautiful like purplish red color. And as you know, color is phytonutrient. So especially the purple color is really lacking in our diet typically. And so incorporating this red purple into your diet is wonderful. Phytonutrients are antioxidants as well as anti-inflammatory. Purple, often the color purple, represents anthocyanins, which you find in blueberries as well. It is so beautiful. So we're just going to quarter this. One of the beautiful things at the Chef's Garden is the vegetables come really nicely prepared already. So sometimes you may need to remove the outer leaves. This time I didn't need to, but you certainly could if you need to. So then I'm going to pull my 898 squash out of the oven. And with the pecans, now that they're starting to toast, I'm going to add 4 additional tablespoons of olive oil. I'm also going to add garlic, and garlic is fantastic. I cut this garlic ahead of time. I chopped it so that we go ahead and start building those allicin compounds. Garlic, if you can, chop it maybe 10 minutes in advance so that you get the most benefits. All right, so I'll go ahead and take this off the heat. So the 898 squash is a nice personal size squash. You'll see a big difference when it comes to the butternut squash. It's quite a bit larger. So these are a very nice small size, really high in nutrients. So lots of beta carotene, and beta carotene is what gives them that beautiful orange color. Beta carotene is what's converted in our bodies to vitamin A. Vitamin A is best absorbed with a little bit of fat. So when I prepare these squash, I rub them with a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle it with salt, and then I bake it at about 400 degrees for approximately 40 minutes or so. So now I'm going to take these squash and I'm just going to cut them up into smaller pieces. They're really beautiful. All right. Okay. So we have our radicchio, we have our squash. Now we're gonna just finish off the sauce. So again, I have about 4 tablespoons of olive oil, some pecans, and I added a little bit of rosemary from the garden. Now I'm just gonna whisk in some white miso. And this miso was actually made by our chefs at the Culinary Vegetable Institute. Miso is amazing. It is made from beans. This one's specifically a white navy bean. And to that, they add koji, which ferments the beans, as well as some salt, and it creates miso. So miso adds that umami flavor. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And apple cider vinegar adds a great fall flavor. Also that bright flavor that you get from vinegar. And the tartness, but also apple cider vinegar can help control blood sugar. So excellent to include in a meal. So our sauce has come together. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. And again, you can salt to taste. One of the things I'm really excited about in this recipe is using buckwheat. And although buckwheat has wheat in the name, it actually is gluten-free. So buckwheat is a crop that we actually grow as a cover crop as well. So it puts nutrients back into the soil. Buckwheat flowers and then creates what's called a pseudograin. Pseudograins are like quinoa or amaranth. And this grain, which is more like a flower seed, if you want to think of it that way, is high in nutrients, very high in antioxidants, and has less phytates or less anti-nutrients. So you're able to absorb more of the minerals that are contained in the buckwheat. So I'm just going to put a couple tablespoons of this dressing on our buckwheat. There's many different ways you can buy buckwheat. This is like a buckwheat grit. that I use, but you can buy buckwheat in more of a whole form and cook it similar to like farro. So we're just gonna mix that together. It's very sticky sounding. So radicchio is a bitter green, and that's one of the many reasons I love it. Bitter greens help digestion. Radicchio also contains inulin, which feeds our good gut bacteria. So we'll go ahead and just layer in the radicchio. And then we can add in our 898 squash. And I love apples in the fall. Apples are high in quercetin, which is good for heart health as well as allergies. So then we'll just finish this off with our sauce. All right. And I'll just do a sprinkle of fresh chives from the garden. Again, look at all those colors. It's so beautiful. I hope you'll enjoy our fall buckwheat salad. You can find this recipe and many more at farmerjonesfarm.com. Thank you for joining me today in my home kitchen.